Okay, good evening, everyone, and welcome to training. Get everything rocking and rolling here. Let me get the screen share up. Which one I'm going to use here? I'm going to use this one. It's good to see everyone. Good to have everyone with us this evening. Let me turn the volume off on my phone here. Okay. And we are ready to roll. We're going to get right into it tonight because we've got a lot to cover. And I want to make sure if you have any questions, questions answered. The most important thing with questions is if you've got them during the training, it's best to ask them during the training. That way we can get them answered and get everything rocking and rolling. And instead of waiting until after the fact, that way you learn. Wednesday night's a learning session, a time to, I have a structure, but that doesn't mean the structure can't be changed during the training. Wednesday nights are for you. Wednesday nights are to make sure that you understand what to do. Tonight, we're going to go back over building a digital business card. I'm not going to put all the information in. I'm going to build the buttons real quick. I really want to go through the second stage, which is setting up the buttons and so forth. Now, with that said, and I'm going to get into this more when we get started, how you build your business cards, how you build your apps, that's your business. It doesn't really matter. But the design and the look is the key to success, period. It's kind of like, they used to say with the computer, computers are great. Garbage in, garbage out. So if you don't put some quality love into your apps, when you go out to sell them and you go out to demonstrate them, you're probably not going to have a lot of success. If you put some love in them and some quality in them, and you can build a business card in about 15 to 20 minutes easily. But if it takes you an hour per business card and you're charging $149 or $249, you're still making $250 an hour, no matter how you look at it. Okay, so start taking your time, slow down a little bit, and we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things tonight to help you stay focused, to help you stay on track, to help you get where you're going, and to do the things that you need to do. Hey, Andy, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see everybody. Somebody said their popcorn is popping. That must be Jerry Dietrich, vacation rentals in the villages. Fox News goes up there all the time. I can't remember whose mother lived up there, but they were running for president last year, so Fox News was up there often. But anyway, we're going to get into training, and we're going to start rocking and rolling. Before we do that, let me say this. Today is Veterans Day. And let me take my hat off to all of those who have served, all of those who have given to their country, all of those who have participated in one way or the other to make sure that we have the freedoms that we have. There's nothing more important than being free. And no matter how bad you think you have it, no matter how bad things may get around you, we live in a great country. Where else can we gather together on a Wednesday night to do what we do without something going on around us where we have to hide in a basement, or someone is out to kill us or do harm to us? And it's all because of the veterans who have gone before us and those who are in the fields today, who are protecting our very freedoms to do the things that we do, to go out and share the apps that we have, to build our business, and to make sure that everything we do is protected. It's a great thing that we wake up in the mornings, and it's a great thing that we have the opportunity to go to bed at night without bullets whizzing by our heads or or we're worried about if our children are on the streets. You know, we have problems in this country. Everybody's got problems. You wake up in the mornings with problems. But I can promise you this, and I've been all over the world. I served in the Navy for 20 years. It was always awesome to come home. So with that said, I would like to just start off tonight, and I heard this guy sing actually on Fox News. And he sang this at a ball game. And I just want to take a minute to play this, not for anything else, but to thank you. Each and every one of you who have given of your time, who have sacrificed your families, who have given your all to protect this great country of ours. So with that said, let's just take a minute and let's get past the commercial here and think about all of those men and women today who are sleeping in a pup tent out in the middle of a desert, protecting our very freedoms that we have.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now take a moment to sing God Bless America. We are led tonight by retired Navy Petty Officer First Class Generald Wilson.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet
And with that said, let's play ball. Welcome to our Wednesday night training session. It's an absolute honor and pleasure and privilege to come to you each and every Wednesday night. We're going to get a little housekeeping out of the way and we're going to rock and roll. If you have not joined our YouTube channel, join our YouTube channel. The trainings come up on the YouTube channel immediately when training is over. And as soon as that training is over, it's posted and you can go back and watch it. So join us on our YouTube channel. Also like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Instant App Wizard. Also, if you're not signed up for our text message reminder, please sign up for our text message reminder at 727-471343 with keyword app call, APPCALL. And join us in our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is where a lot of things happen. Facebook.com/groups/Instant App Wizard for all your suggestions and all your ideas. And if you have not gone in, go to the Facebook group and you'll see this in the Facebook group. Site Jabber, I think it's next week or the next week. We may have 2 more weeks where Woodrow's daughter is going to come on live and she's actually going to draw for someone to get 1 year of free texting for whichever app you would like to put it on. So that's 1 year of free texting and we'll draw a name. So if you have not done it, or if you have not been in the group to sign up, go to the group and sign up so that you can get your free texting. Tonight we're going to talk about building an app, and I want to talk about building an app for one reason. Something happened today that happens often, but it happened today on a day which is, you know, sometimes when you're just, your day just doesn't go the way you want it to go. You really need something good to happen, and this happened today. I got an app in, and I app. excuse me, I built the app, sent the app out. The sales rep went to deliver the app. It was very simple to build. It was very easy to build, but it looked very clean. It looked very crisp. He walked in and he showed the app. And when he was showing the app, there was a lady there that owns a real estate company. And she was very intrigued at what she was seeing. And she asked the sales rep, she said, "Can you build me something that's that nice?" And he said, "Absolutely." She said, "Can you have it to me at 8 o'clock in the morning?" And of course he said, "Absolutely." From the design of the app alone, okay, from the design of the app alone, thank you, DJ, from the design of the app alone, just showing it to the client that we sold it to, someone else was standing there. It intrigued them and caught their eye, and they said, "I've got to have that." Sometimes we're so focused on selling apps and trying to make money that we forget that step one is this. You have to produce quality in order to get quantity to build your business. Anyone can put out a plain Jane black and white app. You can go out and build them on these cookie cutter site builders all day long, and that's exactly what they look like. You have to be able to go in and do what I'm going to show you in order to increase your sales, in order to get the referrals, and in order to build your business. You can go out and sell anything. Okay, you can sell anything you want. But the problem is, and listen what I'm going to say. The problem is if it's not of the quality that everyone else is seeing, or the quality that everyone else is looking at, or what they perceive that they're supposed to get, you're not going to get the referrals, which is the base of your business, which is where your growth comes from, to excel and exceed in your sales. So your return on investment for that one app, that return on investment for that one $249 app should be anywhere from 3 to 5-fold, because the referrals that you receive from that one app, the referrals that you receive from that one app is what increases your return on investment for the work that you did. So, and also remember this, and Woodrow and I were talking 20 minutes before training. I know everybody likes to say, "Could you send me your apps and let me share them with people and show them what they look like?" Be very, very careful when you do that. And the reason I say be very careful, because if you go deliver something from someone else, or you show something that someone else created, and you cannot deliver that, and that's what they're expecting, that will greatly diminish your opportunity to create and make that sell. So be very careful saying, "Hey, can everybody send me a demo of this or this or this?" If you receive that and you go show that, and you do not have the ability at this time, everybody has the ability, and I believe everybody is capable of producing the same kind of app. But if you don't have it at that time, and that's what you're out selling, you're going to diminish your own self and diminish your business because you did not produce what you had shown. So with that said, let's get on in here, and I'm going to reduce this, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to pull this up. I'm not going to put all the information in there. Okay. I'm not going to put all the information in here that needs to be put. I want to get directly to the coloring system. So let me create a 2.0 app. Okay, and I'm going to name it right here, Test App 47, because it probably is. No access. Let's go ahead and just create this real quick. I don't know if anybody downloaded the latest Firefox. I don't recommend you do it, because I don't know what's wrong with it, but man, it's got issues. I don't really like Firefox, but it is what it is. So we're going to come in, and with this slow Firefox, we're going to come in, we're going to edit. Now remember, I always go to the right side first. Okay, why do I go to the right side? Because I want to create my buttons. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to set up my phone numbers. You'll have to excuse this because I don't know why it's doing this, but it is. And I'm going to put call us right here. I'm going to change this image. And this is the only image I'm going to change because I don't want to take the time to do this. I want to get into the to the training. I'm going to type in phone. And if you will do what I'm doing, if you will take this video tonight and you will go through these steps and you will practice and you will practice and build you about 10 or 15 apps before you go to bed, okay, then you will have no problem, okay? You will have no problem. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Andy, it does. It just continually locks up, and it was on the last download. And I'm fixing to go back. I meant to do it before this change came out. Actually, I'm getting ready to start using Chrome. I just don't like. I mean, it's just terrible. 555-555-1212. And I'm going to save that. You know, Firefox is free. Firefox is an open source, and anybody can go in there and do it. Then I'm going to put my V card in. I'm going to add a V card. I'm just going to type some junk in here so I can save it. You obviously would go in and fill all this information out. Let's just put a social media link in real quick, just so you can see. No, my screen's not blurry. What you need to do is you need to go down and you need to click on the little gear on settings, because what it is YouTube comes in and sets at 240, and you need to click on settings, and you need to go to the quality, and you need to upgrade it to say 720 or 480. And let's come back over here to social media links. I may have to go to Chrome. Okay, let's put a Facebook in here real quick. Let's come down here. We're going to put an email in. And these are the buttons I use. I don't use anything else. Okay? Unless they want a cell number in there or something. But this is what we sell right here. Nothing less, nothing more. And I'll say it again as this is kind of going through here and it's kind of slow. Stay focused. You know, you can go out and you can jump around and you can do all these things and have all these great ideas, and you got 57 projects working. If you don't get any of them done, guess what you've got? Nothing. You're not creating any money. You're not creating any revenue for yourself. You're not making any sales. Nothing's happening. Okay, and I've got those links in, and I'm going to come up here to the home page. I'm going to turn a couple of things off. going to come to links. I'm going to turn off join our list. I'm going to turn off call us. I'm going to turn off email us. Yeah, this is frustrating. This just downloaded yesterday, or that's when I downloaded it. And I'm going to change it right here because I changed this, so you can leave it where you got it. But because our customer base is used to seeing this on everybody else's card, and then I'm going to move this up. Remember, if it's got an arrow right here, I'm going to move this up whenever this thing works to the top. Okay, contact us, share web app, and email us. Should have turned off. I've got rid of that. I've got my 3 buttons here, and then I'm going to have my 3 buttons up at the top. Okay. I'm going to click save. Always save. Now let's come over to settings. I'm going to go right into my header. Now, listen to what I'm saying. Keep yourself sequenced. It doesn't matter what sequence you use. Use the same sequence over and over. Because if you don't use the same sequence over and over, then you get lost and you really don't know what you're doing. You forget. You don't do things the same way every time. You turn things on, you turn things off, you get to arrows. It doesn't matter. I don't care what it says. I'm not trying to type anything correct. I just wanted to get those buttons built to show you. This isn't an app for anybody. This is just demoing so I can show you how to go in and change the colors on the buttons. Okay. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go to the title bar. I get rid of the title bar. You don't have to. I'm just showing you how I build it. I don't want a title bar on mine. I'm going to say none. I'm going to come down to images. I'm going to upload my image. Well, you're right, Andy. This thing is pitiful, isn't it? Why no title bar? Because I don't use it for anything. There's nothing on there that I need to use it for. I don't have a menu button on there, my home button in my previous bottom. If I had a menu or maybe there was some coupons that I'm going to add later on, actually sometimes I will use a tab bar up on the top. If the person has a responsive website that they want to put on their app, I will create a tab bar and I'll put visit our website at the very top. There's just no reason to use a tab bar right now. I don't know why this is doing this. And I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to come down to button bar. Every now and then I will put a title bar in, but very, very seldom. Very seldom. I'm going to add my links. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to add call us. Remember, I turned call us off. I'm going to add call us. Maybe, Andy. Maybe, Andy, this will work. I'm going to click add. I'm going to come back over here and I am going to add email us. I always put these in the same order. There's when you will find when you get a lot of apps on the street and you change something, a customer will call you and say, hey, I thought this was supposed to be like such and such. I always take Facebook off there. I just leave it share. And email button didn't come up. Hang on just 1 second. Email is the second button. You'll have to excuse this stupid Firefox. I highly recommend if you have not downloaded the new updated Firefox, do not do it. Let's go email us. And now I'm going to put this right here in the middle. Way to do it. Okay. So I got my call us button, email us, and Facebook share. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to hit save. If you guys have questions as I'm going, please ask. Please ask. Now I'm going to go to the footer. I'm going to get rid of the title bar because I don't like the title bar on the footer. I just don't like the way it looks. I like to change that. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to say none, but I'm going to change it to a tab bar because it looks clean and fresh. Remember what I said? Design features, and you may use the title bar in a different way. You can use any buttons you want. Just make sure your apps are consistent and they look good. That's the important thing. I'm going to put home page. And I'm going to put previous page. And I'm going to turn this off when I'm done designing it. Yeah, you know what happened, Andy? Everybody and their brother, you know, they started asking for donations, and I think they took the donations and quit using them. Yeah, Firefox is probably the worst browser now you can use. Matter of fact, I've started using everything after this. I added previous page. Okay, and I'm going to save that. And you can see here now I've just got one continual bar here. It's only 2 buttons, home page and previous page. I will turn this off. Okay, I will turn this off when I finish creating my app. I don't use slide menus. I don't use page transitions. I make sure the home screen triangle is turned on. And now I'm done, with the exception of what? Coming down to the styles and colors. I believe this is where everyone freaks out. I think this is where everyone falls apart and they say, oh my gosh, look at the slide buttons. What am I supposed to do? Okay. The best thing I can tell you, number one, is not to be afraid. You're not going to tear anything up. You can always delete the app and start over. Okay. You can always, this is the simplest user-friendly system that anyone in the world can use. Without question. There's not I've used them all. There's not a system out there that I've not tested, tried, and used, and I hate every single one of them. There's not a one of them that I like because they're too complicated. This system isn't complicated. What happens is you look here and it says, uh-oh, simple and advanced. What am I supposed to do? And it scares the hell out of you. You know, anytime you see the word advanced, it probably like takes you back about 16 years, you know, when you was in 5th grade and you could take regular math or advanced math and you were too smart to be in regular math. So they told you were going to go to advanced math. And when you got to advanced math, it was so hard that you wish you would have actually fudged a few things on the test when you took the test and you wanted to be smart, that you stayed in regular math. Okay. So, yeah, if you're scared, go to church. I like that. So let's go over here, but we're going to go to the advanced section. Okay. If Firefox will ever start responding. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, now this background's already white, and the background I'm using is white, so I don't want to change anything. The first thing I do is I set the background color. Now, that's all the way at the bottom of the page. So all the way at the, and the reason I set the background color is because I want to be able to see my app develop. Now, I've said this probably a million times since I've been with Instant App Wizard. I cannot draw a stick figure. I don't know how many of you have played Hangman, but when I used to play Hangman, my Hangman looked so bad that I never won because I never had the correct pieces in the right place. I have zero artistic capabilities. Zero, none, and nada. Okay? That's why I know that this system is the perfect system for people who have zero design skills, for people who cannot draw, for people who cannot visualize anything. This is it. Now, I can tell you, there's sometimes when I put a business card up here that I absolutely don't know what I'm going to do. I put that app to the back of the pile. Sometimes I'll go out and walk 4 or 5 miles, and I'll let the concept come to me. It's not the fact that I'm trying to get some great design. I've got to allow the concept of the app, what it is, what it's doing, what it goes to, what niche it is, the whole 9 yards. I've got to allow that to come to me. Yeah, that's right. The only thing I can draw is flies too. You're absolutely right. So I've got my background color set. Now I'm going to start at the top. I don't start in the middle. I don't start anywhere else other than the background color. Anything. I'm going to come up to the header. Now, why am I going to start with the header? Because I'm going to start at the top of the app. I don't want to go start in the middle because I'm afraid I'm going to miss something. So you got to be regimented in how you develop and how you create and how you do your apps. Now, I'm going to tell you, you can do them however you want, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but it doesn't matter to me. But I can promise you this. What does matter to me is that you make sales, that you are successful, and that you do it correctly so that you create more sales. If your apps make sales, create sales, and your business is growing, keep doing what you're doing. You don't need this training. But if your apps are not creating referrals and your apps are not building your business and showing your apps is not creating excitement, then you need to start at the top. Okay? Start at the top. Now you can see right here, this is the header. Can you see where this has a gray tone to it right here? That's because the header goes from here all the way behind this logo. If you'll remember, in the header section, you have your logo, your buttons, your tab bar, and your title bar. So anywhere those bars are, you're going to have a different color. Okay? You're going to have a different color. So let's go here to the background. And I'm going to change this color to white. Okay? And you'll see it change. You saw it change. Okay? I feel like I'm on, what's that? What's the show that goes dun 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 dun. Now I'm going to come down and I'm going to change the button bar. Now I'm going to take the colors directly from my logo so that you will ask. I use ColorZilla, which is a part of, and ColorZilla is also, I think they've got a color tool for Google Chrome. I don't know if it's called ColorZilla, but they have one. So I use ColorZilla, okay, and I'm going to pick this maroon color right here. Why? This card is maroon, black, and maroon and white. All right, those are the 3 colors. Those are the 3. I'm not going to use purple and green and orange and all this off the wall looking stuff that's going to scare somebody to death when they look at it and wonder what the hell you did to their business card. It's going to look professional. It's going to, when a customer looks at that, they know exactly what they're looking at. Okay, so I'm going to come to my button bar. Now you can see that the colors here are kind of gray. So I'm going to do what to it? I'm going to make it black because I want it to be black. So as my great, wonderful friend Kenny Dutton says, that number is 000000. That's the number for black, 6 zeros, and I'm going to hit black. And you can see that my icons here change to black, okay? Now I'm going to do the border color. And lo and behold, what's my border color going to be? It's going to be the little maroon that I pulled off the card. And this is the very card that was shown today that created the referral on the spot. It's like I tell you guys, I'm not going to show you anything that doesn't work. I never will do that. Now, I have some people call me and tell me not to tell them what to do, and that's fine. You don't have to do what I say at all. I'm still going to show you what works. Then I'm going to change the background color. See, the background on the buttons are a gray. I'm going to change that to white so that it stays uniform. Woo-hoo. Okay, I'm going to change that to white. Now, I'm going to change the selected background to just a little bit different color. And I'm going to change it to this, this light gray here, right here, whatever color that is. It's part of the color palette. It's always there. I'm going to hit save. Now, watch what I'm fixing to do. This tab bar right here, even though you don't have a tab bar right here, this tab bar controls the tab bar in Contact Us. So you want to change this. Thank you, Jeopardy. Thank you, DJ. This is your address and directions right here. If you do not change this, your address and directions, okay. Oh, you know what? I didn't put anything in there, I don't think. So I didn't put map information in there, but it doesn't matter. It's your address and directions, okay? Change your tab bar. Go ahead and change your tab bar. The icon color is what? Black. Well, you're right, Andy. This is the worst it could be. The worst I've ever seen it. Border color is maroon. Now, you've already got your colors in your color palette, so this is pretty quick if Firefox is working. Any questions at all? Ask the questions while I'm going along here. Background color is white. If you don't ask the questions now, you're going to get off the call and you're going to say, well, how do you do this? And we're going to make this the light gray. And I'm done with my header. Now I'm going to go to the footer. And I'm going to do the same thing with the footer. I'm going to make the background white. And remember, on the footer, I did away with the title bar, so we're going to make the tab bar the proper colors. Now let's go down to the tab bar. Icon color is black. Any questions at all? Any questions at all? You see, I'm going right down the line. I mean, there's no flipping around. There's no doing anything other than going right down the line. The border color is what? Purple, maroon, whatever you call it. Yeah, I think this is my last day to build apps in Firefox. This is frustrating. Select the background color. You know, this is kind of like fishing, isn't it? Okay, and that's done. All right, you can see that's set and done. And now when I get done, I'm going to go in and I'm going to change that. All right, content body. Let me go back to the home. A lot of people say, where do I change? A lot of things that you don't realize you change in the content body. Okay, text size, your text in your content, that's where this changes right here. Sometimes you'll come in here and this will be set to like 10 or 12. Good text size for an app is 16. So if you go into your app and you're looking around and your text size is too small, for example, let's go in here right here to contact us. And your text size is too small. Okay, you see it's too small. All you got to do is come in and change the text size. 16 should be the proper text size. Border color. I like putting a border around mine because I like everything color coordinated. And I set my border around 5 or 6. Okay, you see the border pop up? And I'm going to change the border color because I want it consistent. So I'm going to change it to purple. The background color is fine. I'm going to go with a black text because my text and everything else is black. Okay, now everything's consistent there. Now, let's go into main links. And I know for a fact this is where everybody freaks out. You're so afraid to touch these buttons. Do not be afraid to touch these buttons. Go in and play with them. I get my greatest creations from going in and playing with these. As you are doing this, nothing is changing on the screen. Color preview. I'm looking at my screen and everything has changed. So I'm not sure what's wrong with your screen. I'm watching this on YouTube as I do it. So, I mean, everything I see has changed. Everything that's supposed to be purple is purple and so forth. Okay, so let's go down here to our main links. You can do one of two things. You can come in here and there's a bunch of templates already created. I used to come in when I first started with 2.0 and I selected 1 or 2 templates. And that's all I used because I wasn't proficient at anything else. Okay, so I chose a template to use and that's what I used. I don't use templates anymore. This was my main template. And then I realized that this template is simply the template that's in there, with the exception of these color bars on the side. And if you want to set color bars on the side, you start where? You start at the top. You start at settings. If I want to come in here, and I'm not going to do this because I'm going to design this exactly the way I did today. If I wanted to add a little margin over here on the side, a little color to the margin on the side, I would come in here and I would simply do that. Okay. And, but what I want to do is this. I'm going to come in and I'm going to sit. Oh, this is, Andy, you're right, brother. This is absolutely like the worst in the world. Okay. The worst in the world. Now, you can set borders on everything here. I'm not, except the bottom border, I'm going to change just a little bit. And the reason I'm going to change this just a little bit because I want a 3D effect. So I'm going to change this if I can, and I don't want it that far, to a 3. All right. And I'm going to change the border radius on the bottom right. And the bottom left. Okay. That's all I'm going to touch. Now I'm going to come down to, and I'm going to change the color of that border. And this is what I recommend doing. When I get done with this training tonight, if you cannot do what I'm doing, you need to go in and do this about 10 times and you will never have another problem. All you've got to do is follow this video step by step. Okay, you see I changed that? Now that's all I'm going to do right there. Okay, I'm going to move that on over to 20. Now I'm going to come over to the icon box. This is where you can get really creative. The icon box is a lot of fun. There is so many things you can do with the icon box, okay? The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the icon box over, and I'm going to set it at about a 30, okay? Now I'm going to change my color. I'm going to change the background color to white. Okay? And I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a border color. Let me bring a border around here. God, this is killing me. I can't build an app in 20 minutes with Firefox. I can promise you that. Let me remove this. And I'm going to turn this to black. Okay? And I've got that up there, and I'm going to give it just a little less. I'm going to put it, I want it on a 4. I may leave it on a 5 so I don't have to fight with it. Okay, there's a 4. Now watch what I'm fixing to do. You can come in here and you can change this style. You can make it dotted. Golly. You can make it dashed. You can make it double. And I'm going to use double in just a moment. Okay. But I'm going to make this dotted. Okay. And I'm going to come down here. Now I'm done with that. And I'm going to come down to the icon. Now this is where you can really do some cool stuff. Come down to the icon. If I can get it to open. I'm going to put a border width in here. I'm going to make it about a 5. I'm going to make it a 5, if it'll stay. I'm going to put a full radius in. Okay, I'm going to make it a complete circle, and I'm going to increase my padding till it's just, I'm going to make it about a 12, okay? Now I'm going to change the color. I'm going to make that what? I'm going to make that maroon. Now, when you go in and you start designing these, and you go after you get through training, and I'm not sure what you asked me to do again, because there's about a 2-minute delay, but you can go back and watch it as soon as training's over. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to make this double. See how that really sets that off? You've got the dotted around the outside. You got the double. Then you've got your icon here. And I'm going to change my icon to black. Okay. Now I'm going to come over to the content box. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put a border on the bottom. Maybe. of about a 4. I'm going to completely radius. And I'm going to darken up that border just a little bit. There's a little darker gray in here that I really like. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to use this gray right here. You see how it gives it a little bit of 3D effect. You got the maroon down here at the bottom. You got the gray here. Now you got the little bit of the gray background. The only thing left for me to do now is to change the text color, and I'm going to change the text color to black. All right. Now, I look at, this is what I do. I don't want them that tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to make a couple of adjustments. I'm going to come into my settings. You've got spacing width and spacing height. Now, understand something. The emulator that you're looking at is an iPhone emulator. Okay? It's an iPhone emulator. So what you design here may look just a little bit different on an Android. But I'm going to increase the spacing height to about a 3, just to give it a little bit of separation so you can see the buttons with the 3D effect. Okay, there's a 4. I'm not going to mess with that just so I can. And I'm going to bring the spacing width in just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to bring those buttons in just a little bit to get them off the side. Now, in your phone, that may not change. It may not change at all, okay, based on the phone. So now I've got my spacing width. I've got my buttons made. The reason I went with this little dotted thing right here, because that kind of looks like a tire. This is an import auto company. Gave it a tire effect. And then I like the 3D right here. There is nothing complicated about this at all. Nothing. Zero. Nada. Now I'm going to come down here, and the only thing I have to do, I've got to set my social media. And as you all know, I never use text on social media. Never. And you say, well, Kerry, why do you not use text on social media? Because everybody recognizes it and it keeps your app clean. Now I'm going to come down here. I'm going to go to icons. And the reason I don't use the text is because I always, no matter what color the app is, I set it to social media colors. Okay? Social media colors are set for a reason because everyone recognizes it. So I'm going to do a border. I've got to change my border width when I do the border. So let me come up here and push that out a little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to do the icon, the same color, social color, and I'm done. The only thing left to do is save to home screen triangle. This very app, okay, this very app created an additional $500 in sales upon delivery. You may not like it. You may not like the way it looks. You may design it differently. I'm just letting you know that this very app created $500 in additional sales, and that's why I wanted to show this to you tonight. I'm going to change this to the purple because I like that color with this app. I'm going to leave that white. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to save this. Okay. What, can everybody sing that song? With the business card, do they have to have texting through us? You always want texting through us because the texting is built into the marketing platform. Now, this particular business card, if you notice, I don't have the marketing platform involved because why? If you go back and look at the step selling, this is the first step. But you always want to use the texting that's tied into the marketing platform. If you don't use that texting in the marketing platform, you're cutting your own throat. You're taking money out of your pocket, you're destroying the marketing platform, and you're not using the app for what it's built to do, which is to market for the business. Without question, you want it to market for the business. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, remember I told you I removed this? The reason I removed this, if you're on the home page, you don't have to go to the home page, and if you're on the home page, you'll never go to the previous page. Okay? All right, now I'm going to come back up here to the footer. I'm going to go to the tab bar. I'm going to say only on subpages. Click. Save. I'm not going to go through uploading the icon. You guys know how to do that. The business card is saved. And there it's complete. Very clean. Okay. Ready to go. Ready to sell. Ready to make happen. Create an additional $500 in sales. So this one $249 app wound up turning into $750 in a 15-minute delivery. So any questions on the digital business card at all? Please, we're going to go in. I'm going to back off of it's 10 o'clock now. We're not going to go into the website. I'm going to go into the complete website next week. We'll spend all training on that. With the way the system is, we'll never get through the website in 15 or 20 minutes. So, and I'm going to show you how to set up, what am I going to show you how to set up? PayPal next week. We'll set up PayPal and we'll go through the entire website. How to design it, what to do, how to make changes, the whole 9 yards. Any questions at all on the digital business card? Any at all? Ask now or forever hold your peace. Each and every one of you should be able to go out after this training, sit down behind your computer, put this screen on one side of your computer, open up the platform on the other, and go step by step exactly like I did and build your card. Build your card. Okay? Without question. Now, let me just, since we're not going to go into the other part because this is so damn slow, let's talk real quick about why the digital business card. And I said this in the beginning. When we start something, we have a tendency to get so excited that we don't know which direction we're going to go. I did that when I got in the mobile app business. I was ready to change the world. Thank you, Andy. I was ready to change the world with the digital, with the mobile app. I didn't have a clue what I was selling because it was so complicated and there were so many pieces that I was totally confusing the customer. I was devastated every day when I came home because I know for a fact that I'm an exceptional salesman. I don't question my sales ability. I'm not afraid to talk to someone. I'm not afraid to do anything. Yes, the Share Web app links to phone contacts. That is correct. I have no problem going out and selling, and I could not figure out why I was having such trouble selling a product that just took my business that I was in. This very product took my business to almost is $1.9 million. I went from a $100,000 company to a $1.9 million company because of this web app. And I couldn't understand why I wasn't getting that across to people, and they didn't understand what I was talking about. My enthusiasm was so high, and I would go in and I would try to sell them everything, and I wanted to show them everything, and I wanted them to do what I was doing, and they would look at me like I had 16 eyes, and that fire was coming out of my mouth, and my ears were melting off my head, and I'm thinking, why don't they get this? And I tried everything from restaurants to gas stations to grocery stores to mom and pop, you name it. There was not a business that I wasn't hitting. And people literally, I'm telling you, I could not close a deal. And I did this for almost a year. And it was hit and miss, and it was driving me crazy until I watched that Shark Tank series that I told you about. And I went in my room, and it hit me. It's not the customer that's the problem. It was me. I couldn't see the forest for the trees. And because I was so enthusiastic and wanted to get this entire product on the market and run out there and just kill it and do all those things, I couldn't understand why they couldn't figure it out. And when I sat in my room and I designed this very card, okay, it was in 1.0 at that time, but when I designed this very card, it hit me. I did have 6 eyes, fire coming out of my mouth, and my ears were melting off my head because I didn't have a clue what I was selling. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but listen what I'm fixing to say because it makes perfect sense. And I don't mean to degrade or degrade or take anything away from everybody, because I believe that you all have the entrepreneurial spirit. I believe that you're all entrepreneurs, and I believe that anybody that has the ability to come here every Wednesday night and learn and train can do this. If you can't do what I did tonight, then you're overcomplicating the process and you're going to have trouble selling the app. I didn't say you couldn't do it. I said if you can't do it. Because you're not going to take the product out that you need. And I'm telling you, you've got to take a product out that looks good. My first 2.0 app, when I go back and look at the first one I did compared to what I do now, because I do it every day, I build them every day, I work with the system every day, I touch the system every day. The first app I look at looks like a first grader did it. Okay, I've already graduated college now since 2.0 come out. Suggested resource for mock-up logos for practicing. It doesn't matter. I mean, go on and just start pulling off logos off of anything on the web. Anything. Google lawn service and go in and pull a bunch of lawn service logos and start building lawn service apps. Go in and pull off a real estate card. I tell you what you do. Go into Vistaprint and just go in and start copying and pasting those little business cards that are in Vistaprint and make sure that they're all multiple colors. And you go in there and you start putting all that together and you save those and just start building apps. I can promise you, do it 5 times and you'll be an expert. Follow this video 5 times and you'll be an expert. You'll never question yourself again what you can do. I promise you that. You know, repetition is the key to success. That's why athletes get out and they do the same thing over and over and over and over. Some of them wear the same shirts every single week. Some of them wear the same underwear every single week. Some of them never wash their underwear because they won 6 games in a row in those underwear. Don't change your underwear. Don't change your technique. Watch this video over and over and over again and learn. Take the complication out of it. You know, and I'm speaking to everyone on this call, because I'm speaking to me 2 years ago. I overcomplicated it so bad that I couldn't sleep at night. It was so complicated to me that I could not understand what I was doing until this, what you see on the screen, came about. And then guess what I started learning to do once I started selling these? I learned to go out and use the coupons and develop coupons and design coupons and add them. Why? Because while I was building these, I could sit there and practice until I got it right. Now, when I go out and sell something, I know what I'm talking about. I started learning the marketing platform. You know what amazes me? And this will blow you guys away. I have people that have been in Instant App Wizard for a year that will call me and ask me how to get to the marketing platform. If you're not in this system and you're not clicking on every single button in this system and know where every single thing is, then shame on you. Because you're not running a business, you're running a hobby. You need to know every single thing that is in every single button on this page. If you have a platinum package and you have a website, you should be able to find every single thing. You should have touched it by now. You should have changed it. You should have looked at your website and see where the change was. Every single thing. Now, some of you work full-time jobs. I don't care. I don't care if you work 3 jobs. If you own a business, it's your responsibility to take time. If you want to build that business and make money and get rid of the 3 other jobs, you need to do what I'm telling you to do tonight. You've got to get repetition in your business to learn and practice and make it happen. You have to do that if you want to be successful. No one wants you to be more successful than I do. No one wants you to be more successful than Woodrow does. I can promise you that. We spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours, okay, hundreds of hours training and teaching people the same thing we teach and train every single Wednesday night. Now, let me say something else. We get lazy. It's a whole lot easier to pick up a phone and say, hey, which button did you move last Wednesday, than to get in there and do it. Stop doing that, because you're not doing anything but hurting yourself, because you will never remember after we told you, after you go move that button, what button it was the next time. So you pick up the phone and you waste 30 minutes of your time trying to talk to somebody when you should have learned it from this video right here. Tighten up your bootstraps, pull up your jeans, and go to work. That's where success comes from. Making it happen, doing it repetitively every day. You know, some of you need to sit down for the next 3 days and do nothing but build apps. When you get done with them, delete them. It's not going to take up any of your space. Do like I was just talking to DJ and you know, do the Vistaprint thing. That's awesome. It's an awesome place to get business cards. Hell, you can get any business card you want, from real estate to you name it. They've got them all. Build every demo you want. But don't take my demos out there. If you can't do what I did today, don't show people my app, because it's going to bite you in the butt. And we don't want you to get bit in the butt, because you're going to lose a customer. Okay? So next week we'll get into the new website. We're going to get in there and I'll show you how to set up PayPal. We set up, I think, Stripe last week or a week before. I can't remember. But any questions at all? Anybody at all have a question while we're wrapping this up? Anybody at all? Yeah, go out, make lots of money. You know what? I'm telling you right now, guys, I'm not kidding you. If you're not making money, you're not doing anything. That's the bottom line. Blind squirrel can crawl over a nut every now and then. Any questions? All right, guys, thank you so much, man. And I will not be in unless they fix Firefox. I will not be in Firefox next week. I can promise you. Okay, and this card I just built, let me say it again, create an additional $500 on delivery. just because of the look that it had. Just because of the look. As a matter of fact, just while I was talking, the other orders just came in on my email. So it's like I tell people, you don't have to do what I do, but I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it. Any questions? Any answers? Good night. God bless. Take care. And it's always good to see everybody. We'll see y'all later.